sufficiently traumatized? Cool, cool. Well, we're going to bring the panel out. First up, we have executive producer and showrunner, Rothenberg. Next is Seaon, who plays Echo. Richard Harmon, who plays Murphy. Let's give him a hand. Next up, Eliza Taylor, who plays Clarke. Next is Marie Ambrose, who plays Octavia. And a newcomer, Shannon Cook, who plays Jordan, who's adorable. We also have J.R. Ward, who plays Russell. And finally, Sachin Patel, who plays Jackson.
It's a nervous way to watch a show.
With an entire room of people like gasping and screaming. And
You guys like that? I had a feeling you might say that. Oh, thank you.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Thanks so much.
I wish you could see.
I really hope we get to see the whole thing one day.
Yeah, maybe put out like a special music video.
I didn't.
You have to.
the whole 6 minutes of it.
That day was like watching him do that, the whole thing, walking down the steps and then he like that was probably 2% of what we got to see.
Yeah.
And if you know Richard, and I'm sure you all do, he did some stuff in there that's
That was probably my favorite day at work.
yeah.
Just
It was also
sitting on a swing and watching Richard.
Yeah, that set has proved very leisurely, actually.
Yeah.
So Jason, I feel like the thing I love about the show is that it reinvents itself every year, but this is kind of on a whole new level. Do you feel like this is kind of resetting the show?
Yeah, I mean, we call it book 2 for a reason. It was really probably the hardest season for me personally to make. I mean, we had to essentially repilot it in the time that you would normally have to just start another season up. So if you think about it, you usually have like, you sell a pilot in August, you don't shoot it until March. We had, like weeks to do this. So it is a starting over, a turning the page, with the people that we know and love.
But it must be like a fun new playground to create an entirely new planet.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's world building. There are a million things to be revealed, and we don't even see JR in this show. JR is amazing this season. It's a little bit of a shame that he wasn't in the first episode, but we kind of, dipping our toe into the new world slowly.
We've seen him in the trailer though, and he's a snazzy dresser. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say.
Oh yeah, that's it.
The man's a
Not just in the trailer.
Oh, in real life.
Yeah, that castle just holds my wardrobe, that's it.
How has it been sort of coming into this show, season 6?
It's been amazing. It's going to sound like I'm saying that everybody was so welcoming because that's the polite and the thing to say. Richard wasn't asked to me from the very beginning. It was literally from day one, just open arms and incredibly welcoming and loving, and I'm really, really lucky. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Eliza, we saw in this episode that Clarke has burned some bridges.
Yeah.
Last season. Is that going to be sort of her arc this year, trying to rebuild trust and get back to a good place with all the people who are very angry with her?
Yeah, it's so funny watching the first episode again and being like, wow, they were pissed. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of rebuilding to do. Trust must be given back to me at some point, and hopefully we achieve that.
Well, it looks like at least Melody's on her side a little bit.
Yeah, that is nice.
Marie also, Octavia, burned more than bridges. She burns like an entire farm.
She burns the house down.
So is she, at least in that episode it didn't look like redemption was something she was too preoccupied with, but is that something that she's even thinking about this year?
She knows redemption needs to happen in order to heal her heart and a lot of relationships, but is that something she's willing to do? I guess the fans will have to find out. And Octavia did a lot of things in the bunker that were needed for survival, but she did have a lot of counterparts that assisted her in doing so. So she's not totally to blame. So I don't think she's really ready to let sleeping dogs lie at this point.
Well, also she needs to, I mean, the first step in forgiveness is sort of acknowledging your mistakes. And Octavia, as we start the season, hasn't done that yet. As we saw in the scene with Kane, which, my God, that is such a great scene. Both of you guys are so great in that scene.
Thanks.
And you know, so step one will be sort of acknowledging what she did before we can get to redemption. Redemption is a long, long process for her.
It does take a minute.
Yeah.
Well, I personally want to see the Blake siblings get back to a good place because you just love them, even though they seem to hate each other right now. Is Bellamy, I mean, he seemed to have forgiven Clarke a little bit. Is he still a little angry with Octavia?
Yes, absolutely. Octavia threw Bellamy in the fighting pits, you know, with an audience cheering them on. So redemption will be a long way from that, I think, right, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, he did try to kill you, sort of, or poison you first, so.
Right, so we've kind of been doing it to each other. It's like brother-sister rivalry
On a next
to the max. Like,
Well, Shannon, I want to talk about Jordan because he's like this adorable ball of sunshine. We're all in love, obviously. How long can he hold on to that like joyous happiness in him? The show tends
that's just how he is. No, for real. Yeah.
Yeah, well, how long can, I guess, well, it's interesting coming into the ensemble because I think Jordan almost resembles a part of the humanity that they have still inside them and coming to a new planet or a new moon. You know, the heroes are coming to this new land, but there's a lot of baggage that they carry with them. And, you know, he's sort of trying to honor what his parents have left behind and the message to be good guys. But, you know, that's up for interpretation. What is your interpretation of that? And he obviously has a lot to prove to himself as a young man and to his peers that he looks up to so much. But he also has to find his own voice because obviously he's naive and young, but he's obviously also been preparing to join the ranks of his heroes. And you know, there'll be points where you'll wonder if he's the fool or it's like Shakespeare, is he the fool or is he wise?
And Murphy's his favorite, right?
Murphy's his favorite.
Join the club.
The theme for this year seems to be Face Your Demons. Murphy obviously has quite a few of them.
Yeah, they hang out from time to time.
He's just done a few things here and there.
Once or twice.
Regrettable. What is that journey going to be like for him?
That's an interesting question. I think, without giving too much away, Jason.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a constant kind of fight for him, even before the kind of face your demons thing. That's kind of been his life since coming to the ground, and probably before coming to the ground. So I think you'll probably see a lot more of the same. And that's just a constant battle for him. And there's a lot. There's so much I want to say, but I can't.
Murphy's story is one of my favorite this season.
This is my favorite Murphy season. I'll say that. This is my favorite Murphy season.
And that's
Murphy show.
Yeah, that was a ton of fun. Thank you for that, Jen.
And Echo is also one of my favorite characters. And I heard we might be getting a little bit of backstory on her this year.
Yes, we will. We'll finally get to see a little bit of her backstory, yeah.
I'm very curious about her history with Asgida because she was this assassin, but she seemed to have turned over a new leaf. What does this new planet represent for her as sort of a new fresh start?
What does it represent? I guess it represents finding a new beginning, starting a new life. You know, I think it's interesting for her to be in a place now where she's off of the spaceship and she's back on land, but with a whole new group of people, with, you know, everybody waking up out of cryo and stuff. But this new land isn't Earth. So where she might have been an amazing fighter and an amazing, you know, Asgida ninja on Earth, this new... You think that's...
I like that.
This new planet, it's challenging her in different ways, so she can't quite get on top of it. So it's, yeah, challenging for her.
And Jason, this planet seems like it might be even more dangerous than Earth, which I never thought was possible.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of environmental dangers. I mean, we've seen the sun's eclipse and it drives people crazy. I'm not sure how much I should talk about it because it not that much has been revealed obviously yet, but whenever the suns come in alignment, the plants give off a toxin that drives everything on the planet insane. Homicidal, that's what you see happening there. Humans were never supposed to come to this planet. They would have probably never evolved. The lower life forms are really, as far as evolution would allow, because of this sort of vicious cycle on the planet. And then we know Aegis 3 arrives 200 some years ago, and this is what they've been sort of trying to figure out how to deal with since then. And our heroes come in blind, and we see what happens.
Would you say the planet is the big bad this year, or is there another big bad on the way?
Yeah, there's a lot of big bads. I mean, who's good and who's bad is always relative in the 100, and that is the case this year too. And clearly planets are not conscious, so at least this one isn't. But it is definitely a challenge for them to figure out how to survive. There's a lot of things that they're going to come to realize quickly or die.
For all the sort of bad stuff that does seem to be happening on this planet, it for the most part seems like there's like a happy little community that's settled here. Is there an opportunity for sort of like happiness and dancing and,
I think we saw some dancing in the trailer.
Always the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JR? It's your planet.
Yeah. I'm listening very carefully to what everybody's saying. There's dancing.
Yeah.
There's definitely joy. My God, yes.
There's merriment.
Yes. I'm smiling in the trailer. And
Drinking.
dancing. Yes.
So well dressed.
What's behind
Well
the smile?
Yeah. It's gonna be one hell of a ride. I think we all agree on that. It's gonna be crazy, crazy fun.
Yeah. I don't know if fun is the word.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fun. Okay, yeah, it'll be super fun. People might say some other F words, and for the most part, it's going to be fun. Yeah.
I mean, I saw a lot of kissing in the trailer. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's the most kissing I've seen in a trailer for the 100 ever.
We always like to have a little bit of a happy section in our trailers before it goes twisted and dark.
There's just 13 episodes of darkness.
Or
A
raven.
little bit of kissing.
Yeah.
I did see Hosier on that playlist. So
Yeah, that was basically my playlist that we just put on that iPod. My people in my office were sort of fucking
happiness
with me,
has
but-
to exist on a planet where there's Hosier. There's no option.
Yeah. We won't hear him this year, however. So, spoiler. No Hosier. Hosier.
Hosier? Audience.
Wasn't it your list?
Yes, but he will not be on the show this year.
Got it.
Okay.
I want to talk about Clarke and Maddie for a second, though, because she did a lot of sort of questionable stuff in the name of Maddie's safety last year.
Yes.
Obviously, that will probably continue to be a theme, protecting her daughter this year. What role does Clarke play as a mother on this new planet?
That's a good question. I mean, it's safe to say that I think she takes a bit of a step back from, being separated from her for the first little bit, as you saw. And there is a little bit of kind of letting Maddie go and not being so overprotective to the point of coddling her. I can say that, right?
Yeah, that was your arc last year up into the finale where you finally sort of let her go and lead one crew. So we pick up in the same place. You definitely separate from her. You've left her frozen, so she's fairly
where she's safe.
safe at the moment.
And this might be a Jason question, but she sort of embraced her role as commander last year. How in the world can that factor into this new society/living situation?
How in the world? It does factor in. Plays actually a fairly important role, the commander. But I'll leave it there. Yeah. There's a dark commander. I think we see him in the trailer, but I can't talk about him.
And speak of Kane as well, because he's now off of ice and back on ice. Is that sort of a way of just being like a get out of die free card?
Yes. Interesting way to put it, for sure. It's not the last we'll see of Ian. He's such a good actor. He obviously is in another show right now, so we had to come up with a creative way. And we did.
I will keep my fingers crossed for him in the future. back to Octavia, because she was not on this little expedition down to the planet, which I feel like was a good choice in the actual let's not shoot first category, but that has to sort of upset her that she wasn't invited along on this nice little journey to a planet that's just right for the taking.
Yeah, you know, it's like when you're not picked on your baseball team in high school and you're the last one. So I think when she got out of, she woke up, realized everybody left without her, that really broke her heart a lot, especially because, you know, Bellamy left and Abby confirmed that, but I was just woken up for my wife and not for Octavia's heart, so that really, you know, hit her in the heartstrings for sure.
And we're going to start doing fan questions in just a minute, so maybe you guys can start lining up. But I do want to ask everybody on the panel this, because I'm a dork and I have stupid questions like this. But we got to see music that survived the apocalypse, obviously. So I want to know if you guys could pick one song that got to be spared from the apocalypse, what would it be?
Monster Mash.
That is so rich.
Cotton Eye Joe?
Well, I mean, Cotton Eye Joe's a great one, but I think Monster Mash, top 10 song of all time. Any time of the year. It's underused.
Any time of the year.
For sure. Time of the year.
Yeah. Oh, we want to hear. The first one that comes to mind for me is a song called Joshaloza. It's a South African song. Check it out, Joe. I think you'll love it. That'd be a great song to arrive somewhere with for me.
The Macarena. Great at weddings.
The Circle of Life from The Lion King.
Oh, nice.
Of course.
Who doesn't want to hear that one?
What are even those words?
I don't know why, but Lowrider.
Oh, no.
Wow.
I would say Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd, because that's one of my
The only legit song on this panel that was chosen.
Yeah, that was good. They're all legit songs.
Sorry, Monster Mash is the other legit song.
Macarena.
It's a great song.
Sajid, I hear you do a good Bob Marley accent.
Kind of.
Oh, sorry, Bellamy.
Yeah, I was actually, since I was replacing him, I was gonna do it the whole time.
The whole time.
But I thought it might be too annoying. So I did it.
Monster
Right.
Mash, Bellamy playing accent. The whole time.
Who's hungry? We're on the ground now. That means we are grounders. Thanks. I'm doing the Monster Mash next year.
Okay, do we have any fan questions? Where's the mic? There we go.
Hello. I was wondering, I noticed in the picture that, was that Sean McGuire there, Mr. Robin Hood? And are we going to see him in any capacity this season?
Good eyes. Yes, that was Sean, and yes, we will. As early as episode 2, actually.
Surprise.
Hey.
Hi. I just wanted to say thank you for coming back. This is a show that I love a lot, especially for the 3 that have been with us since season 1. How have you enjoyed your character development? I mean, Murphy was kind of an asshole in the beginning. He's still an ass, but he's my How have you enjoyed your character development?
I mean, it's been a roller coaster, that's for sure. I've loved, I mean, you know, I started the show when I was 23. I'm about to be 30. Don't tell her that. It's crazy though, because like I've grown with her. I feel like, you know, it sounds like such a cliche, doesn't it? But it's true. I mean, this has been the majority of my 20s, and getting to play Clarke for the majority of my 20s has been bloody amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the same for me. It's been, I realized that the other day, I was like, it's been kind of my entire adult life almost, because I was 21 when we started. But I think you put it best. There's been a lot of great development, and that's big ups to you, Jason, that you allow your actors to actually take characters somewhere, and it's not just stagnant. It's not a procedural, that's for sure. We really get to grow with the characters, and like you said, in real life, you kind of grow with them.
And the more we get to know you guys, it's been a pleasure for us to be able to sort of write to your strengths and to sort of talk to you and figure out where you want to go. You know, it's all up. They make it up on the spot, don't you know? Wait, Marie?
My favorite thing about Octavia is I feel like I've played 900 people all climbed into one. My favorite was playing the Red Queen last year, just because I've always wanted to play a character in a fantasy movie, so I feel like I kind of did. It was neat to play the villain. So yeah, I'm really thankful that they write from my strengths. The action stuff, the sports stuff. I mean, I've always wanted to ride a horse when I was a child. I grew up broke, never got to do that. You guys gave me the opportunity to do so. Yeah, I love my job, super grateful. It was all of my 20s, and I'm not saying how old I am.
Hi, my name is Brendan, and my question is, who's the biggest prankster on set? I like to think it's Richard because of that over-the-top saran wrap prank that he pulled on Lola involving the severed teddy bear head. But what are your opinions?
Yeah. You would, I don't know, I mean, I'll let you guys answer. I can't toot my own horn.
Oh, it's the official. I'm not.
After that, it has to be.
Yeah.
That is.
I mean, it was the only prank on set, apart from Lola's.
Yeah, saran wrapping my toilet seat.
Well, Lola started it.
She started it. I wasn't going to push any further. She said the words that you can't say to me. She said, it's on.
That's true.
I can't do that.
Actually, Eliza and I have had one for Richard planned for about a year and a half that hasn't yet come
No,
through.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to
Yes.
happen.
We have to.
And we have to do that. I think, you know,
Yeah, it's happening.
I know exactly,
We can't say what it
I know
is.
exactly what it is. I don't like it. And I don't
Oh,
want
it's
it to
happening right
that's why it's going to be awesome.
Wait, you know what the prank is?
Yeah, but he's still scared of
He
it.
just doesn't know when
They've come out like it's my greatest fear. It's my greatest fear.
It's like put the bomb in the trunk and show the audience and make them anticipate the explosion.
That's what we like to do.
We just don't know when.
I once sprayed, and then the crew took it away from me. There's this sprayer on set that makes things look a little moist. Oh my gosh, I hate that word. But it does.
I hate that word.
So I put it between Abby, which is Paige, her legs, in a place where women do not want to be sprayed. So she did her whole scene looking like she wet her pants. She got so pissed off. But that was like, I don't know, 4 years ago.
That's a prank for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they took it away.
Not cutting off a teddy bear head, but it's a prank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That takes a special sort of soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
By far number one.
Yeah.
I wanted to prank people, but I didn't want to ruffle any feathers. But I'm the kind of guy who like wait outside the bathroom with a mask on. So I'll probably be coming for you guys in season 7.
That's not weird.
Shannon, you're fired.
Hi there, my name is Tobin Carter. I first of all wanted to thank you all for bringing to life the show that saved me from a very dark place, so thank you very much. My question for you was, a lot of fans have been kind of talking about what if the show got a spin-off. So is there anything in particular that you guys would like to see explored in a separate show?
You know, Jackson is, he's great. I love him. He's the best. So Jackson spin-off. You know, I told Jason the other day, I'm like, if there is ever a spin-off or like anything that like predates, postdates, whatever, you know, Jackson's grandfather looked exactly like Jackson. It's shocking. It's like they're twins. So, I mean, if that ever happens.
Strong genes.
I think I would want to see one where it's just the beginning of the spin-off is the first bomb going off, and then everything of like the people who become the grounders, the people who survive, them dealing with kind of everything. I think that would be the spin-off I'd want to see.
I agree. Yeah, just before the
Yeah, like just.
Yeah.
We may be working on something. Can't talk about it yet. I'll probably get in trouble for saying that. I'm sure I am.
What's up, y'all? I'm Negan, and it's great to see you again, especially Clarke Griffin.
Hi.
And so I have this one quick question for Eliza Taylor here. Who is the greatest enemy you ever faced? After Mountain Man, worst weather like Sharknado, and what else? Oh, and AI Robot. Who is your worst enemy that you ever faced?
Me as Eliza?
Clarke Griffin.
Because I haven't done any of that. Okay. I actually think that she comes up against a pretty fierce enemy this season. It is one of the craziest storylines I've ever had, I think. Thanks, Jason.
One of the craziest ones I've seen.
Yeah. And unfortunately, there's not much I can say about it, but it's mental.
It's one of the most magical performances you're going to see out of a person ever.
Eliza this season, she's always been good, but we pushed her to a place this year that is mind-blowing, like seriously beyond.
Yeah.
So good. I can't wait for people to see it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Negan. I like that guy.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. First, a quick shout out to my girlfriend. She loves the show, loves all of you guys. This is what I brought her for her birthday.
Girlfriend.
Happy birthday!
What's her name?
Dolores.
Happy birthday, Dolores.
So my question is, by facing their demons and the whole psychological vibe I'm getting from this season, my question is, how did you prepare to play a role in which you might be your own worst enemy? How did you prepare to act out the worst, or in Richard's case, best aspect of your characters?
You're so right about that. So right about that. You nailed it for me. I don't need to say anything. It's fun.
So Jackson's grandpa. I just don't think anybody can remotely answer that question. Thanks, Jason.
I mean, honestly, I think the preparation's probably the same as it always is. You get the scripts, we talk about it in advance, what's gonna happen. In Eliza's case, we had quite a few very long conversations about what she has to do. Less so for everybody else, but you know, I imagine after 6 seasons, there's a routine in all of your work, you know? So.
I've been hating myself for years.
I've been hating myself.
I mean, this season, I think, like, what I did is I was just like, I will go as far as you guys push me, and you have to trust the director and, you know that they'll guide you and kind of nudge you along the path, and just do your best and rely on all your prep work and your understanding of the character and the script, and go for it.
I don't prepare at all.
Marie's one of the most prepared people on set, by the way. Her folder is just full of notes and scribblings and sticky things and what do you call them? Post-its?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, babe. But yeah, I try to prepare, study hard, you know. Finished high school, yay!
I could not.
Last week.
Well, I mean, it was interesting coming in as Jordan because he looks up to everyone so much. So I just try to learn as much about the show as I could. I stalked them on YouTube as much as I could. Try to learn about them as people and on the show.
Outside of the bathroom.
Well, it's the best time to get them because they're relaxed, right? They don't expect anything to happen. You turn the lights off and there you are. Anyway. Yeah, and then now what was the question? Yeah, so how do we prepare? How did I prepare? I mean, it's interesting for him too because I guess he's trying to find his voice, but there's the echo of the voices of what he feels that he should be doing for his team and then also for his parents. But it was a great exploration in humanity and getting to experience things for the first time. It's a real gift as an actor and as a person, a grown man. I guess it's interesting to go back to those places. Yeah, I just can't wait for you guys to see what's coming up for everyone.
I think this is the last question.
Good afternoon, guys. My question is for Shannon and JR. So over the last 5-6 years, this cast has really grown and evolved. What's it like as actors joining in the 6th season, kind of later into the life of this evolving show?
Shannon?
I guess part of my real self and part of Jordan leaked into one because I really admired the actors on the show a lot.
We bullied you.
Because I admire them so much, and as Jordan, it's easy. I just felt I'm getting flustered over here.
Like I said, it sounds like we're just saying because we're in front of everybody that it was such an amazing cast and crew to come into, but they genuinely were and are, and it can be very intimidating, and I was very intimidated coming, because I know what it's like to be on a show for that long, and you just function as one. You start to be, But
you were seamless. They were both amazing. It was almost like you guys have been with us the whole time. It really was a seamless, smooth transition.
And it genuinely felt like that as well from day one.
Like you saw Shannon in that first episode, and then when you get introduced to JR, you'll begin to see, again, this season is so different because it actually feels like a different book. It feels like a completely different show. And then you have these people come in that seamlessly help build that new world. And I can't wait for you to get to see more of these guys because they nailed it out the park.
Yeah,
it's special.
Really good.
Well, that's such a great note to end it on. Thank you guys so much for coming and doing this. And The 100 Season 6 premieres April 30th on the CW.